What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? It's your boy True Thought. Coming to you with another video. It's been a while. It's been a lot going on. I'm really going to make two videos. This will be the first one. This video is going to deal with my military transition, or just my military change within the career. I've made a recent change, and just kind of give you my thoughts on how that change has been going. So in January of 2020. I ETS'd out of the Army National Guard, and I went to the IIR. I had 4 years left in the IIR. And so in March, I completed the process of transferring from the Army National Guard over to the Army Reserves to continue my service. So I did that for a couple of reasons. Number one, let me just kind of explain. Now, both the Army National Guard and the Army Reserves are reserve components of the Army. So the Army is really broken into three components. You have the active Army, or the big Army. So you have the active Army, which are soldiers who are soldiers 24/7. You have the Army Reserves, who are, the main job is really to augment or to support the active Army. And then you have the Army National Guard, which can support the active Army. However, the Army National Guard really functions as units in and of themselves, and serve mostly on the state level, but since September 11th attacks have been activated pretty much every year to support ongoing missions outside of the United States. So the National Guard can also be used for those purposes. The main difference between the Army National Guard and the Army Reserves, however, has to do with funding, and it has to do with, I guess you would say, the primary mission. So the Army National Guard's primary mission is to defend whatever state they are in. So I was a part of the Maryland National Guard. So the Maryland National Guard's primary or first mission is to defend the state. As such, and the governor is the commander in chief for the National Guard. Ultimately, the president is the commander in chief if he chooses. But in our first line of command is going to be the governor. So with that being said, the Army National Guard is funded by the state and is subject to the state budget. So it could be subject to budget cuts or budget increases, just like any other state agency. Along with being subject to state budgets, the promotion process is also subject to the state. And so, you have however many soldiers within the state. There are only a few slots for your next rank that come available. And when you put in for your packet, you're competing against other people within your state for those slots. And so because of that, there tends to be a slower promotion process within the Army National Guard than there is in the active Army. Because again, in the active Army, your promotion is based on the needs of the entire Army, as opposed to in the Army National Guard, your promotion being based on the needs of your state. And so you have a smaller pool to draw from. And then depending on the unit that you're in, you may or may not have the money to send enough soldiers to school, so that way they can become better at their MOS, or make themselves more promotable, things of that nature. So with the Army National Guard, that's one of the issues that I ran into. Otherwise, again, it was a good experience. Like I said, I've met great people, and I've made some great relationships. The Army National Guard has been a tremendous help to me when it comes to my civilian career, and so I'm very appreciative of my time there. But again, I've made the decision to do 20 years in the Army, and I want to make sure that I am getting all that I can from it, while at the same time giving all that I can to it. So I've decided. In late December or late 2019, I decided to join decided I wanted to start the process of transferring over to the Army Reserves. And the reason came from a conversation I had with someone who is in the Army Reserves, and just kind of talking about the opportunity to support real life missions, the opportunity to get promoted, the opportunity to attend schools to become better at my MOS and to become a better soldier overall. As a family man, that's also something you have to take into consideration when it comes to the scheduling. So there's different different scheduling options. So for the Guard, it was pretty straightforward. 1 week in a month, 2 weeks in the summertime. For my unit, because we were in the up tempo a couple of years, so it was the 2 weeks in the summer, and then it was again another 2 to 3 weeks in the fall, as we prepared for deployment. So with the unit that I'm going to, the schedule is a little bit better. So it's still 1 week in a month. You do your 2 weeks within that year, and then, like say, if you're going to attend something like a BOC, or if you're going to attend some kind of school, then that can count towards your good year, towards your 2 weeks. So for me, the just the schedule that this current unit has works a lot better for me and my family. I can plan around it, and at the same time make sure I have time to spend with my family on vacations and things of that nature. So it just works better. It just works better for my schedule, for my family schedule. There's a different culture between the two. My National Guard unit was pretty laid back. As long as you weren't doing anything stupid, you were fine. But it was pretty laid back. It was pretty chill. This unit that I'm in now with the reserves, it's not that it's not laid back, but there's just more to do. There's more training offered. There's more training that needs to be done, and so the overall culture is more of, hey, let's get the mission accomplished. Let's get the work done, and it allows for me to be mentored. It allows for me to be trained in different aspects of my MOS that previously I wasn't, which makes me a better soldier. So that opportunity is one that I'm appreciative of, and I think that one that will help me in the Army later on down the line. There's also different processes that I'm getting used to. So, for example, in the National Guard, my 2 weeks in the summer were already predetermined. I had nothing to do with it. They put out the calendar. Here are the dates where we're going. Here's where we're going. Here's what we're doing. Let your employer know. In this unit, it's not the same. In this unit, I have to really find those opportunities for my 2 weeks, which is cool because it gives me some versatility on what it is that I'll be doing. I could find an opportunity to support a real time mission, or I can use those 2 weeks to go and learn a skill that helps me become a better soldier in my MOS. So I do kind of like that. I do kind of like that format, that process a little bit better, because now it's more intentional. I can be more intentional with my training, and I can be more focused with my training, which again, just benefits me overall. And so I do like that aspect. I like the fact that my promotion isn't determined by the state that I'm in, but I can be promoted, in any unit throughout the country within the Army Reserves. So again, it allows for me to have a better process for my career overall, and it allows for me to develop as a soldier overall as well. Still, many of the same benefits that I had as a guardsman. Still the same benefits as a soldier in the Army Reserves, and so really there's no negative drop off for me so far. So far everything's been positive. So looking forward to it. If you guys are thinking about joining the Army, joining the military, again, I always encourage you to do your research. Make sure you talk to people, so that way you can make the best decision for you and your family. If you're an older like myself, or if you're married, again, make sure you talk to your spouse and do your research. All right, take care, everybody.